Sekeres and Price, a special post-game edition. Round 2, Game 1. Vancouver Canucks 5, Edmonton Oilers 4. And the Canucks take a stunning 1-0 series lead in this best-of-7 Western Conference playoff series. Matt Sekeres alongside Blake Price, Grady Sass, hitting switches and conducting things. And as always, this show, a presentation of Applewood Auto Group.
So many great deals. Where do we begin with the Applewood Auto Group? How about Applewood Infinity at the Richmond Auto Mall? Get the QX60 right now with lease rates at just 0.99% for 24 months on all trims. That's the 2024s too, don't you know? Get it all at Applewood Infinity. In Richmond, it's all good at Applewood.
Where to begin with Applewood? Where to begin with this game, Blake? It's 4-1. It looks like the clock has struck midnight on young Artur Shelovs. You think game, set, match here, Edmonton with all that firepower, and yet somehow, some way, a 3-goal comeback. They score 3 in the third, including 2 in 39 seconds to take a astonishing 5-4 victory in Game 1. Your thoughts?
You know what? Strange to say this, but they deserve it. Like,
yep.
They should have won this game. The Oilers were kept to 14
They were the better team.
Shots. Yeah, the Oilers had 14 shots until late in this hockey game. Edmonton Oilers.
Their first shot in the third period came 15 minutes in. Now, granted, that's with Nugent Hopkins hitting a post when there is tons of net available, and Shelovs is not aware of where the puck is, had completely lost his puck, completely lost the puck at that point. So he hits the post. If that goes in, that's game over, because that makes it 5-2. So they hit a post, but they were preventative. They went into a shell for a team with all that offensive firepower. They decided to sit on a lead. And, the old saying in football, prevent defense prevents you from winning. I think that came to light here for the Edmonton Oilers.
This game was full of those weird swings. Cody Ceci nearly puts one into his own net. It misses his own post by inches, and he turns around and scores, the goal that extends the Oiler lead and really makes you think, okay, it's not their night. And then Hyman adds the other one quickly thereafter, and you're like, okay, it's really not their night.
Yep.
I mean, there's these wild swings. Canucks hit a post earlier. Mikheyev, Pedersen has the empty net on the power play. There was all these sort of possible exit ramps in the choose your own adventure here where, the storyline takes a different turn. Ultimately, the Canucks, chose the path in front of them and just kept on pecking away. Didn't panic. That Lindholm goal late in the second, so important.
Huge.
So important.
Huge.
Because 2 goals going into the third, like, you don't
right.
love that. But you don't think it's insurmountable either. Like
correct.
You get your
That's
break.
the big difference between belief and it's not our night.
Yes.
I'm quite sure if that goal doesn't go in, I mean, look, I know we've seen 3-goal comebacks from this team and from others. Saw 3-goal comeback from the Colorado Avalanche in Game 1 of their series, but that's an awfully tall mountain in the third period. Although, Blake, I am now starting to wonder whether we have a never say die storyline that has come. That is 3 third period comebacks in 7 hockey games for the Vancouver Canucks this postseason.
And I'll be honest, they don't look super comfortable protecting leads. Do they just like to be the trailer? And do they just like that position? Now, I'm sure Canucks fans would like them to, get a multi-goal lead themselves and see how they look protecting the lead. But hey, just really smart goals though. Like you have to give some credit to Lindholm. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He was hoping for exactly the outcome that he got. He was thinking defenseman or goalie, whoever it banks off of, I don't really care. And that one worked. The JT Miller goal, the Susie pass, the Besser pass, the tip, all spectacular. Zadorov's just a hoper shot, but it's a strong shot through traffic. Love it. And Connor Garland's play, that little hesitation, that went exactly according to plan for Connor Garland as well, opening up Skinner a little bit and then just quickly slicing that through his legs. I mean, just really smart hockey as they came back.
And I'm glad you showed a Connor Garland, Blake, because we talked about it on the Daily Show today. But the third line had to be better. The third line, and maybe Dakota Joshua is Mr. Game 1 here after another 3-point effort in Game 1.
It's a weird title.
I've never heard of so good in Game 1 of the I know they're so good in Game 1 of the Nashville series, then super quiet outside of that overtime winner in game 4 in Nashville. So, you're sitting there going, this has been one of the best third lines in hockey. They need to be contributors. They need to be participants to a greater degree than they were in round 1. You look up Joshua with the 3-point night, Lindholm, the huge goal that you talk about. It's a 2-point night for him, and Connor Garland with a huge goal off a fantastic set play. I mean, Zadorov keeps it up. Miller, it's justice that he gets that goal, I thought, because they had some decent shifts that first line. I was sitting there going, is this going to be another somewhat decent night for the first line, except they just don't get on the scoreboard? Well, that's a heck of a tip from JT Miller, a really weird angle. I mean, that's not one that goes in a lot, but it goes in tonight. Heck, Nils Höglander gets on the scoreboard here, Blake, with an assist, and he's been so quiet. Carson Soucy with a 2-point night.
As I said, that quick pass across to Besser, who whips it down to Miller, like, Soucy's a bit of a granite block defenseman. I expected him to just put it right back down into the corner, put it in deep. No, he knows the time's of the essence. There's guys coming towards it. He quickly cycled that all the way across the entire width of the rink, got it quickly to Besser, and that started that goal. I mean, yeah, great night for Soucy.
Well, and we'll get into the Oilers here in a second, but first, a super tough night for Ian Cole. One part bad play, one part bad luck. He does wind up getting an assist here. But you wonder if Ian Cole was playing his way out of the lineup. I don't think that'll be the case now. He's a veteran. I think they'll trust him after the win. I personally believed, Blake, that they should have yanked Seeloffs at 4-1 or in the second intermission. Now, there are 2 shots from distance that go in here. One through a double screen. One gets deflected. If you want to say he bears no fault on either of them, okay, fair enough, but you're hoping to get at least one save on shots from distance like that. And then the second Hyman goal, I mean, that's just a bunny that can't go in. It does not deflect off Meyer's stick. It is just a soft shot that somehow creeps through the 5-hole. That's when you absolutely have to stop. And I thought that was going to be the backbreaker for him.
It was aptly described on the television side. The puck doesn't go off of Meyer's stick, but Meyer's stick checks Hyman just as he's shooting. And so the puck is affected then because Sheelovs can read that play. He sees where Hyman is going. He's reacting, getting ready for a high shot. And then all of a sudden it's a flutter by in between his. That's not where the shot was going. So there's an excuse there too. Yeah. There's an excuse there too.
I guess, but I mean, it's a slow roller to the 5-hole. I mean,
but you're right.
It's just got to be stopped at 3-1.
There's 3 goals there. There's 3 goals there that all have a reason behind them. Mm-hmm. But you hope that a guy has the quick enough reflexes to adjust on one of those. So I'll give you that. That of those 3, should a goalie be able to make a miraculous adjustment? Yeah, you'd love it once out of the 3 chances for sure.
So some of the great news here for the Vancouver Canucks, they win a game when Quinn Hughes was he even ordinary tonight?
He did not notice him. Did not notice him.
Where the Elias Pettersson outage continues.
There was some effort there.
Again, there's effort there. I mean, he's on the sheet for 4 hits, puts 3 shots on goal. Okay, but still the points aren't there for Elias, the danger isn't quite there as much as you'd like to see it.
So they win a game with those 2.
What's that?
Just 17 and a half minutes of ice time too. So I don't think they were running them out at full. Oh, pardon me. I'm looking at the wrong person. Looking at
I've got
that was 1909.
19.
So, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. Yeah.
Actually, I see him at 1843.
I think you got to refresh one more. 1909 is on the final sheet.
Yeah. But nevertheless, we're 2 of the big stars don't play particularly well, where they don't get sensational goaltending. Once again, the power play continues to let them down and suck life out of them. They give up a power play goal for the first time in a while because the penalty kill has been so exceptional. They give up that power play goal in the opening minutes of the game after spending all week saying discipline. We got to make sure we stay out of the penalty box. Somehow, some way, Ian Cole jumps onto the ice for a 2-man but 40 seconds into this hockey game. I mean, couldn't imagine a more
couldn't write it worse.
Disaster.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And And the whole that screams of super excited, too much energy. What's happening? Things are flying, and all of a sudden we got 6 guys out there.
But Blake, if that was a Zadorov or a young player doing it, I could understand. I mean, Ian Cole is supposed to be your rock steadiest veteran in that room, and he's the guy that's jumping over the boards. I mean, it's just incredible. And then he has, that first period, first 40 minutes, really, that he'd like to forget. Now, let's look at the Edmonton side of things for a second, Blake, because Connor McDavid emerges with an assist, a secondary assist, and let's face it, it wasn't like it was. I mean, that's just one where you get a point. That's not one where you did anything particularly special to earn a point. He does not have a single shot on goal, and he has 1 shot attempt all night. They held
that was one, yes.
They held McDavid in check tonight. The Oilers blow a 3-goal lead. Skinner absolutely wants the is the Garland goal back? Yeah, the Garland goal off the inside of the leg and through. And, as we talked about on the Daily Show, routes to victory for the Vancouver Canucks. You beat them 4 times in the regular season. You have now beat them 5 in a row. Edmonton has to be thinking, what does it take to beat these guys? And you have a goaltender who may well be scarred now in Stuart Skinner. McDavid's too good a player that he's going to bounce back. I do not think he's going to be that quiet 2 nights in a row. And then, of course, the big one for Edmonton, Leon Draisaitl looks a little bit lame. He is clearly trying to play through something and does not look himself. So,
and it's shoulder or back related. You saw him getting the adjustment on the bench. Shoulder or back, as we know with Quinn Hughes, and people just know at home, those don't just, you don't wake up the next day and go, oh, it's gone. Like it's going to be there. He can clearly play through it. But boy, that's going to be fun for the Vancouver Canucks because they know, let's just paste him. Anytime you can paste Draisaitl, paste Draisaitl. Now he still got his. He had 2 points tonight, but he wasn't a -1. I mean, the power play was the power play. Did you actually mention Connor McDavid's faceoff numbers there?
I did not, but those
28% in the circle, 5 of 18. Draisaitl was 2 of 7 himself. I mean, the Canucks dominated them there as well. And you're right, McDavid's eventually going to get his, but this is proof of concept. You can do this to him. So even if he goes off for 4 points in game number 2 and they win 5-2, you know that you can do this to him. You just did in the playoffs. So, and, make them pay. So, it's that's a big night for them in that regard. And again, this is a little less sheepish than the Nashville game, the miraculous Nashville comeback. The Canucks didn't deserve to win that. That was a crazy game. Good on them for winning it, but they didn't deserve to win it. Canucks went out and won this hockey game. They just needed all 60 minutes to do so.
Yeah, let's go to the listeners here, the followers, and every game we put out a post-game tweet at Sekeres and Price. What stuck out to you in the game? David, resilient, playing well, but down by 2 because of unfortunate bounces in the first and second. The Canucks fought hard until the end. And Besser, he's become such a complete player. Great vision, great passing, out there at the end to keep the 1-goal lead, blocking shots. Good shout, David. And, I'll add, took a slash from Desharnais at the end of the first period that should have been a penalty and wasn't called.
Yeah.
So, no, I thought Pius Suter was pretty darn good tonight, Blake. In fact, at one point, I thought he was the best player on that line. Yep. And eventually that line comes through with a goal. For heaven's sake, McKayev threatened and could have had a goal tonight. So, maybe, just maybe, the secondary scoring of the Vancouver Canucks, which of course did not show up in the Nashville series all that much. Heck, the primary scoring didn't show up very much in the Nashville series, but you see a hell of a game for the third line here tonight. Bluger, Höglander get on the score sheet. Defensemen are getting on the score sheet, and Susie, Cole, Lindholm was terrific tonight. Terrific. You do wonder where the long nightmare about secondary scoring may finally be coming to an end here.
And boy, do the Canucks look smart here on Lindholm, because it was a company line for the regular season. We got him for the playoffs.
Right.
And we were just like, okay, but this is going to get a lot better. Boy, has he gotten a lot better. He's not electric, but he just does those little things, and it was fun to watch. So, let me ask you this:
Yes,
she loves for game 2?
Well, like I said, I think they will go she loves, because
You think so, huh?
because you won the game. Now look, how many saves does he wind up making in the third period?
4.
4. Well, yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a big sample to say he's, back. I'm not necessarily sure there was a 5-alarm save there to hang your hat on.
He was a little bit more reboundy today. Like this,
he sure was. He was a little bit more scrambly. His puck tracking wasn't as good, Blake. Like virtually every facet that we praised him on, through the 3 starts against Nashville, came back towards the pack here.
I wouldn't blame them if they went to Smith. I wouldn't blame them.
No, I wouldn't blame them with Smith. I think he will go she loves, and frankly, I can support she loves off the start, because he's won again here. He's 3-1. And you can go to DeSmith on a short leash if need be.
And you can tell the kid, you saw it's a different speed.
Exactly.
It's a different game. This looks different.
Right.
And hey, we talked about the line there for McDavid, his stats line. He's still scary. Like, he touches the puck.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, it's scary to watch.
It's terrifying.
So,
well, and Blake Draisaitl with a bad back, bad shoulder, whatever, gingerly and barely playing. He's got a 2-point night tonight. So, like, that's just how impressive this team is from a scoring point of view, that you could have one of the 2 superstars playing at 75%, if he's even that, and gets a 2-point night, and one guy who barely threatens the goal all night still scare the bejesus out of you each and every time he's got the puck in the offensive zone, and he somehow gets on the scoreboard. And Hyman was exceptional tonight, outside of maybe a defensive miscue or 2. So,
the key to entertaining hockey in the NHL playoffs, your goalies have to be under 26. Maybe that's just the thing. 2 really young goalies, 23 and a 25-year-old.
Okay.
Like, maybe that's it. You just put 2 really scared young goalies in net, and you're going to get 9 goals a game. Maybe this is the recipe for success for the National Hockey League.
I mean, there were goals tonight from Cody Ceci and Matthias Ekholm, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, exactly.
There were goals from distance from Nikita Zadorov here tonight, and frankly, I think Skinner probably wants the Lindholm goal back as well. So, yeah, right from the get-go, it was clear this is going to be a different series than the Nashville series. There's more space out there. There's more room. There's more pace. Frankly, that first period, I thought, okay, Vancouver played into their hands a little bit, because it was a bit of an up and down period, and I'm just not sure you can win run and gun hockey with the Edmonton Oilers. But look, I think it's going to be fun from here. And as I said to you, partner, all week on our daily show, I thought game 1 was absolutely critical for the Canucks.
Yeah.
I felt like if they immediately were on the back foot, had ceded home ice advantage to a team that was on a hell of a roll coming out of the LA series, and when I think they fully knew that they were probably a little bit lucky to beat Nashville in 6 games as they did, that could spell disaster for the Canucks. Instead, they got a 1-0 series lead. They're on to Friday. Maybe they have a goaltender decision to make, but the Oilers have a lot more questions than Vancouver does.
They really do. Final scoring chance numbers: 21-11 in favor of the Canucks. High danger chances 10-4 in favor of the Canucks. This is all 5-on-5, and shots at 5-on-5 19-12. Like, the Canucks won this game,
and that's amazing to hold a team like that to 4 high danger chances. I mean, they score 4 goals. They were lucky to get to 4 goals.
Expected goals in the game, Matt. 2.5 to 0.94. The Edmonton Oilers didn't get above an expected goal at even strength.
Wow.
And I saw somebody tweeted this. Like, the Oilers defend Like, even if that power play does put you in a 2-0 deficit again, Matt, if you can settle down and stay out of the box, as the Canucks ultimately did, you can work your way back against this team. They are not that good defensively. They might be improved on the Oilers scale, but they are not vastly improved on the NHL scale, I don't think.
Hey, Blake, I thought Ceci, Nurse, Desharnais, I think those are defensemen that you can take advantage of. And the goaltender was certainly gettable tonight.
Yep.
Some of that has to change for the Edmonton Oilers going forward. Bet365 is a proud partner of Sekeres and Price. Blake, what? You had Vancouver at plus 220 to win the series earlier today. If you
That's not
Vancouver.
where I went. That's not where I went.
Okay.
No. I went with
there'll be less than
block
that
shots. I went with block shots. If
all right,
memory, yes. I'll have to go double check as to what that is.
No. I remember you bringing up that the series price on the Canucks was plus.
Yes, the series price was, yeah.
Right. It's going to be less than that now. 23 total block shots tonight from the Canucks.
No, but I had Ian Cole block shots, and I had 4. He only had a 1. Alas.
He deflected one into his own net. Does that count? Open an account with Bet365 today. Bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code VANBONUS, altogether, all one word, when opening that account. Thank you, everybody, for listening, watching here. We'll be back with The Daily Show, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, weekdays. We are live on YouTube, Facebook,
Mark Crawford,
Instagram,
break this one
Twitter.
down with us tomorrow.
And we'll talk to Crow, have him get the coach's look on this. Hey, everybody, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, then follow along with Sekeres and Price on YouTube. I promise more content coming.
The kids call it subscribe on YouTube.
Well, how about liking it?
Do that as well. Smash it right now.